they're doing your work for you. You know, if they're happy with you, and you know, you've done for them amazing work, they're gonna, you know how when you guys go see a great movie and you're like so excited to tell somebody, oh, you gotta go see this movie, it's so good, you know, or you gotta go eat at this place, this restaurant, it's great, just open it. Well, it's the same thing. You need to tell people about you. You know, you need to ask your clients to, and that kind of is going to go into number 3, ask your clients for referrals. You know, Peter was telling me the story about a client that he had way back years ago when he was first starting, and one of the things that she did, because he was young, you know, hadn't been doing it or whatever, is she started asking him for a business card like almost every session, or a couple of them. And finally he said, what are you doing with my business cards, you know? It's like, are you playing cards or what? And she said, no. She said, I'm giving them out. I'm telling people about you. And he was like, oh, you know? And so it just got into a habit. You know, every maybe month or a couple months, you know, ask your clients, do you know of anybody, friends, family, co-workers that are struggling? Can you give them my business card? You know, that's a no-brainer, really. And that is the number one thing that kept coming up over and over and over again, is asking your clients, your current clients, for referrals, and then thanking them. You know, Kevin and Peter have built this business for 25 years on thanking people for the referrals. And ask David, when I came here, I thought they were like neurotics. Kevin was like, did you get the person's name? Did you call? Did you think? Did you get the email? I was just like, oh, okay, I get it, you know. But that's what has built their business, is to make that personal connection every single time. And they have had story after story of people going, wow, you're the only person that's ever called and thanked me, you know. And people, and David can tell you this, people still, you know, we call them and we want to just say thank you, and you know, maybe it's a secretary taking the message, and she's like, okay, and what else? And that's all. We just want to say thank you, and they're like, oh, okay, you know. So they really appreciate that. Number 4, return all your calls as quickly as possible. And that's with your clients, that's with new people coming in. If they have called you for, you know, information on an intake or a new appointment, you know, I know you guys are busy, but as fast as you can, get those calls back to them. Because if you don't, they're going to go looking somewhere else, you know, and I know that you guys know that. Number 5, it takes 6 contacts before a referral source will send you a client. So that's 6 times you gotta, you know, you gotta be with a new referral contact that you need to, you know, connect with them. Whether you send them a little personal note, or you an email if you have it, or a phone call, and then they're gonna go, okay, this person is really committed, you know. So you can't just do 1 or 2 times and then give up, going, you know. It's gonna take work and perseverance. Number 6. When you genuinely care for someone, your clients, that in itself is a powerful healing thing, because people sense your sincerity. And I know all you guys have it, and because otherwise you wouldn't have any clients, you know. They'd walk out going, well, that person didn't, you know. You can feel that synergy when somebody really, truly cares about what you're saying and what you're going through. And that's why you're doing this, is because of the compassion that you have. 7, review your closed files. And that means when it's appropriate, go back, you know, like a lull, like things are now, have been in March. Go back, look at your list, you know, hopefully that even when you're turning in your files, you know, you're keeping a list of those names and phone numbers. Go back and call them and say, hey, you know, it could be 6 months, it could be a year. How's it going? I was thinking about you, wanted to touch base, you know, how you doing? If they're good, how's everybody in the family? You know, Is anybody, friends, family, co-workers, that kind of thing. Number 8, set up some accountability for your outreach strategy. This is where it comes in at the bottom. I was telling you about the signature and the date. I want you guys to try to discourage me from sharing my gift and giving it back. And I decided a long time ago that I don't care how I felt or what was going on in my life or circumstances or anything else, that I was not going to give in to that. Because I figured, you know what, if Christ died on the cross for me, then there's no reason that I can't stand here, regardless of my imperfection, and give him back my gift. And so that's what I do. So if you struggle with, getting out there and talking to people and marketing yourself for whatever reason, it's really imperative that you have some accountability, that somebody can pray with you, somebody can encourage you, somebody can, listen to your whatever you need to release, but it'll get you back on track, and you can take your gift that you have and give it back regardless of what's going on in your life. We all get busy. Our lives are just going 500 miles an hour, but there's still, for me personally, and this is just my personal conviction, there is nothing on this earth that should get in the way of me giving back to Christ. And that is what I have committed to. So that's just an encouragement. So what I would suggest and encourage you to do is to find somebody, either in this room, on staff, another counselor that may not be here, and set up a buddy accountability system. And that's going to go 2 ways, where not only are you going to be accountable to them for what you do, but they're going to turn back and be accountable to you. And so you're just going to hold each other up. And that could look like once a week phone call, either at the beginning of the week or at the end of the week, saying, how did you do? What did you do this week? Did you do the 2 or 3 things on the list that you marked off you said you wanted to do? How can I pray for you? All that kind of stuff. It can be email, it can be a quick phone call, it can be a lunch, however it works for you. But get some accountability and stick to it. Get a copy of their monthly and weekly mail out or the bulletin. Make sure that you're in there at least once a month. Sometimes churches will, cycle their announcements and they'll kind of drop off and then you want to get back up. So keep your eye on that. So it's critical. Show up 30 to 45 minutes early for your first session of the day to schmooze and fellowship with the church staff. That's it's a pot of gold sitting there. I can tell you, time after time I get phone calls from you guys, occasionally, and saying how they just went to that church, to a different church, or to their satellite church, and just kind of hung out with the people, or showed up early for an appointment, and just the office secretary and receptionist, man, that's the one you want to really get in with. And how you doing? Take them a cup of coffee, give them a $5 Starbucks card, or just a card. That doesn't take anything or cost anything. Just, I've been thinking about you and praying for you. I want you to know. And then make sure that your satellites are stocked. That's so important, because people are out to find someone, either in this room or on staff, to be accountable to. Okay? Accountability is huge for every area in our life. I know I'm going to be really upfront and vulnerable here. Okay? I go to Weight Watchers, and that's high accountability, because every week I gotta go count the scale, right? But I know that if I don't have that accountability, I'm just gonna go, nobody cares. And what I know in my life is I am on my worship team at my church,